had issues with the police in the past. Obviously, the police don't like a guy in a balaclava, especially not one handing out free weed. I don't think what I'm doing is illegal, so I'm not worried. And at the end of the day, you can't prosecute a character.
I'm going to throw the UK's first ever party which follows social distancing guidelines.
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. Are you working from home?
During the lockdown, I've been touring Manchester in my van, handing out free isolation essentials like toilet roll, hand sanitizer and weed.
I programmed the healings into a crystal so that then that effect you will have on there.
Yo, I'm Outlaw, I'm a music producer and political activist. During the lockdown, I've been touring Manchester in my van, handing out free isolation essentials like toilet roll, hand sanitizer, bottled water and weed. So I put up a post on Instagram where people could request essentials, and I've asked them to message me if they knew anyone who needed anything but couldn't get out to get it. Loads of people asked me to go to them hands, so obviously I prioritise the elderly and the vulnerable first. I give everything out for free because I don't like seeing people in need, when realistically there's enough to go around. To source all this stuff, I had to look through different warehouses and distributors online until I found somewhere that could get enough toilet roll and get it delivered to me in time. Obviously, I funded all this myself, so I paid for everything. The weed's the cheapest part for me because I just grow it out myself. It only costs the price of a seed. I have had issues with the police in the past. Obviously, the police don't like a guy in a balaclava, especially not one handing out free weed. I don't think what I'm doing is illegal, so I'm not worried. And at the end of the day, you can't prosecute a character.
My life hasn't changed much at all. I'm sort of used to being at home all the time and I'm quite in my element, if I'm honest. I think there probably are more clients. I found that daytimes are really quiet now, and that's probably because, a lot of people are at home with their families. I have my laptop set up at the end of my bed so that I can do cam calls. I also have a selection of outfits and accessories, a box of sex toys down here. And also there's been a huge increase in the amount of webcam providers who are online as well, whether that's people who are starting or people who maybe didn't do it as a full-time job before. There's definitely more competition out there. People who work on cam are going to have to step up their game in some way or another. And over in this corner is where I get ready for cam, which I'm going to do now.
Hi everyone. My apologies for being late. We had a slight wardrobe malfunction. I'm on my third day of lockdown now. Not quite going stir crazy, got plenty to do. But I've been quite strict with myself. I'm setting myself routines to do, jobs to do. The other thing is keeping in touch with friends. Now, some friends of mine, we're going to have a virtual pub night on Fridays, which is a night we'd normally go and have a couple of pints. Obviously, some people it's going to get to. Please, if you feel yourself getting that way, seek help. Send me a message. I'm not on here all the time, but, if you want someone to talk to, spill the beans to me. I'll help you as best I can.
Yo, my name's James. I'm self-employed. It's day 8 or day 9 of lockdown, and I'm bored as fuck. I had to make a few phone calls. No one's dropping off. Everyone's getting pulled by police. Prices have gone through the roof. I found one guy. He's got 2 boxes of gas for me for 25 quid. But he wants me to drive to him. All I'm saying is, beggars can't be choosers. So we're out here during lockdown, in the middle of nowhere, but we've got our product. We've got a problem when you can't even wait 10 minutes to go home. Oh, fuck's sake. Residential area, for fuck's sake. I bet people looking at me are thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing?
So I'm just having a quick look on the site, and there's over 500 webcam providers online right now, which is way more than usual for this time. Of them, only about 65 of the people online are in actual chat, so they're the only ones making money at the moment. 1 client for every 10 providers right now. Normally, on average, you'd be looking at about £1.50 per minute for group mode. And there's users here that have got their prices at 60p per minute, 80p per minute. Obviously, people are putting down their prices in the hope that, it makes them more competitively priced, I guess.
People ask me, how did I first get into wearing a gimp suit? It was the material that attracted me first. I was attracted to the rubber material. I really had this urge to go out in public in it. I checked up, legally I could. And I thought, do you know what, I'm going to try it. Life's too short. You can't just go and walk around town, you need a purpose. So that's when I come up with a charity thing. And I thought, right, it'll cost me a little bit, and it costs those taking pictures a little bit as well. That charity I picked was Mid and North East Essex Mind, which is a mental health charity. We're going to have a bit of a crisis on our hands with mental health when this is all over. During lockdown, I've been, obviously can't go out so much, so I've come up with this idea. I've visited supermarkets. I'm doing that because that's the only thing you can flipping well do at the moment, apart from walking around a park, which doesn't go down so well. A couple of bags as well, please. Yeah. Some people have said, have you had a brush with the police before? 3 times I've been stopped, but it's the same old thing. Don't even know what you're up to. Just tell them, yeah, I'll be wandering around for an hour or so, so if you spot me, don't worry, I'm not robbing anyone, I'm not doing anything wrong. And they're good as gold. I'll go out during the day, during school terms, so there's minimal children about.
Give us a wave!
I've had people say, must be a sexual thing. I make no bones initially, yes. It is. It's a fetish at the end of the day. I have control of myself. I'm not going out for that reason either. People say to me, what does your family think of this? They don't know. There's a lot of years under the bridge here, and as long as I can keep it a secret, I think I will. It's my outlet as well. Some people have a hard couple of days. They go and have a good old few beers and, get drunk, rip the place up a bit, and they're good as gold. I don't. I become the gimp for a few hours. And it is very therapeutic. Inside this is a normal bloke with a normal job, with a normal family and a normal life.
Hi, my name is Zander, and I'm an entrepreneur. I work with astrology, naturopathy, tarot, meditation, and I have 2 homes. I'm originally from Los Angeles, but I also have a home in Germany, outside of Munich in Bavaria. I have a laboratory here. I also have an astrology clinic here where I'm starting to see clients again more and more, of course, with all the precautions. Let's just get right in. Good. Health is good. Perfect. Okay, so I'm just going through my list of crystals. I've been seeing a lot of clients to kind of bring light to the situation and what's going on. So actually what's coming up is blue agate. I have been able to delineate key dates where things would start to be getting better, and so far it's been happening. Well, it can also help balance and cool down the respiratory system at times as well. There are certain things that we need to do as a collective in order to really bring this pandemic to an end. So actually in this case, it doesn't want to sit on the body, it wants you to look at it. I'm gonna figure out how long. 22 seconds, you have to look at this, okay? I feel the energy outside is very heavy, and that tends to happen during pandemic. Protect yourself when you go outside and keep an optimistic outlook as much as possible. And begin.
It's been about 5 weeks since my last video, and as you can tell, a lot has changed. I've had no social interaction for a very long time. I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands. I'm going to throw a forest party. The UK's first ever party which follows social distancing guidelines. I messaged the council and they have replied that they have no problem with it, but we have to follow government guidelines on social distancing, which is cool. I now have an uneven mustache. I'm looking very suspect.
So it actually wants to go on the forehead. 3 minutes. Okay, Google, Set a timer for 3 minutes.
I've been online quite a while now. The total pay is still at 0, unfortunately. No calls so far, but remain optimistic. Still pretty quiet, so I'm going to change my settings now and go into free mode. So yeah, at least I'll be chatting to people even if I'm not making money.
Yo, what's happening? It's Outlaw. We're in the music studio today. We've got 420 grams, that's 15 ounces of weed to give out. So obviously we're getting an envelope here. We've got 6,000 requests from my Instagram on this. Press that, and then a random one comes on nicely. Then obviously we're getting the buds. That's only the best. So banging a gram on for everyone. So obviously 420 packs. I'll bang that into a baggie, and then we'll repeat that 420 times. So yeah man, let's get to it.
Sound, it doesn't travel downwards, right? So we've got residential properties over there, and the hill is here. So any sound shouldn't travel downwards. That's not how physics works. Welcome to the woods. During this event, we will be implementing social distancing. We're going to have 2 by 2 meter box areas for each household. There's going to be an on-site enforcer.
Everybody adhere to social distancing.
With a whistle or something. It's going to be hand sanitizer provided, and there's not going to be more than 30 attendees, and all of them are known to us.
I started this because I wanted to help NHS staff directly. We've been making up packs for NHS and key workers. A couple of them just got back to me with videos. I've had way more requests than I thought. I've done loads in the past year, but we're just getting started and the movement's just getting bigger and stronger. Big up everyone who's supported so far. Thanks for all the love, and there's big things coming soon.
On Saturday, we threw the UK's first COVID-compliant party. Social distancing was adhered to and enforced, and hopefully this model can be used to show how the hospitality industry can bounce back from the COVID-19 pandemic. And that concludes my lockdown tapes. It's been a bit of a roller coaster, but it's all Gucci.
Hi guys, it's me the Gimp. As you can see, I've come to do a bit of essential shopping at Tesco Extra. This is probably my final short video. What am I going to do now the pandemic is sort of starting to ease? Learned a few lessons out of it. You don't need to keep going out to enjoy yourself. Those around you mean more than anything else, material possessions, etc. And post-pandemic, my life will change a bit. Hopefully, I'll see you on the flip side.
My astrological predictions have been right on track. Many countries have opened up. I have helped a lot of people who are in stress about COVID-19. I can put another drop of an oil on your mask. I'm optimistic about what's to come. I learned a lot, how quickly things can change and how we can change things for better or for worse.
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. I'm good. How are you? You working from home?